Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to our first Friday live edition. I take that back. It's our second live Friday edition because we have gone live at our old time slot at 3 p.m. one time. But welcome to your lunchtime Friday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. Thank you to Wayno and Kenny for already being here in the comments. If you're on X, come on over to YouTube. We got a lot to talk about tonight as the Taliban struck again. I'm going to welcome in my guy, Drew Gann, Uncle Buck. What's going on, Uncle Buck?
What is up, everybody? I'm glad to be here. I'm hungry because it's lunchtime. I used to eat before 12 o'clock shows. I have to switch around my routine a little bit. And so, but no matter hunger, sickness, health, whatever, the Two Bucks are here at 11 o'clock on your Friday. And yeah, lots to get to. Busy weekend. I'm ready to just jump right in, Rusty.
Yeah, man. Today is the day of remembrance. It's June 6th, which is the anniversary of D-Day, where we launched our attacks on Omaha Beach 81 years ago today. It is also the day that humidity has struck the Mid-South. And in Memphis, you can't even think about going outside today without starting to sweat. But Drew, with a new time slot.
I'm glad you're making those. That's a fair comparison, right?
Connection. Right. D-Day, humidity day. It makes sense. Like, it's just in the math, right?
This is a day that lives in infamy in the Mid-South because of the humidity.
It is. For a fat man in the South, it lives in infamy for me. But on our new time slot, on our new day, we can't go into that without a new segment.
Oh, okay. This is fun. Yeah. So we start every show with just some kind of bullcrap segment that we just like to have fun in doing. And so in our brainstorming session, we found this. And, the best ideas take very little time to come up with. In about 5 minutes, we came up with this segment. We call it our Bucks Big Three. It is open for sponsorship for anybody that wants to join in. But this is where it's going to be sports today. But it could be anything where Rusty will take three things and I will take three things. And then we say whose big three is better. This could be barbecue foods or sports. Today we're doing Oklahoma City players, historical players versus the Indiana Pacers, historical players, because the NBA Finals. And so we're going to get really creative with this as we get into the doldrums of summer. But this is our Bucks Big Three. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, like a great brainstorming idea, a great brainstorming session, like you said, happens about 30 seconds or less. I called Drew, said, hey, what about this idea? He said, let's do this, and it was done. So we're trying to be relevant and stay on topic for the game that was last night. We're going to get to that here in a minute, but we decided that we're going to look at the three best players, like you said, in Thunder/Sonics history, and Drew has got the Pacers. So we're going to kind of queue up our list. Drew, do you want to go? Let's go back and forth. I'll give a player, you give a player, and then we'll talk about how each other completely screwed that up.
Okay.
So, I'll let you go first. Give me a Pacer.
I've got the historical Pacers, and I'm picking three of them. And in my mind, and we did not talk about this ahead of time, but in my mind, I'm constructing a historical Pacers team that is going to play Rusty's historical Thunder team in 3-on-3. So I did look a little bit more positionally. I don't think Rusty did, but we're going to debate it. My first one, and I can't help but do it. He is the most inevitable player of all time, Tyrese Haliburton. I mean, 4-game winners in a playoff. It's just absolutely astounding. I don't care how many points he gets in the first 47 minutes of the game. He's going to hit my big shot when I need it the most.
You say that, but my first player from Thunder/Sonics lore is going back to the old Supersonic days. He was a 1996 Defensive Player of the Year. He averaged 20.8 points per game in a 10-year stretch. He led the Sonics in that 96 year to a 64-18 record, only to lose to Michael Jordan, the Bulls, in the finals. Perennial all-star, franchise leader in games played, minutes, field goals attempted, steals, assists. That's the glove. Gary Payton, the senior. I'm going to throw him on Tyrese Haliburton and cut his water off. Give me prime GP, and it's over for Tyrese.
Listen, I could have made a list of Thunder players. I've got a feeling that when this is over, I can pick the 3 Thunder players you missed and have a team that beats you. So yeah, the glove was not on my list. I do love Gary Payton. I love defensive specialists. You know, I love Tony Allen.
Especially if we're playing 3-on-3 and Hallie is so clutch. I need Glove locking him down late in the fourth quarter. Just take him out of the game.
Tell you what, you designate Gary the Glove Payton on Tyrese Halliburton and leave my next pick open all you want, because he is the worst commentator in basketball, but he is the second best three-point shooter of all time, Reggie Miller.
Fair. Miller's a good pick.
If you're taking the Pacers, you can't not take Reggie Miller.
No. I mean, famous for the choke at Spike
Lee. They're going to have a choke off.
Awesome. All right, my next up, the NBA leader in triple doubles. He won the scoring title in 16-17, was the MVP that same season, was an unstoppable force for the Thunder in those early finals runs. He's the franchise scoring leader with over 18,800 points. Russell Westbrook is one of the most prolific players in franchise history for the Thunder. He can get in the way and at least kind of defend Reggie Miller a little bit, but good luck slowing him down in the open court with Reggie Miller and Tyrese Halliburton. Russ is my second player.
Yeah, see, the problem with Russ is that I've seen Russ as recently as like a month ago or 6 weeks ago, and you can have him. You can have him.
Or if we're doing that, then Reggie Miller right now, come on, bro. Reggie Miller cannot come out and play.
Retired. You have no choice but to think about the history of Reggie Miller. You have immediacy when it comes to Russell Westbrook.
These are prime players. I didn't think we had to put that caveat in
That's
there.
The reason why I didn't take, and that's why I didn't take Paul George, is because like I think of Paul George last year, and I'm like, that's a bad contract.
In their prime, the prime Russ, prime Glove are going to be a problem for Hallie and Reggie Miller.
And I'm with Stumblefield here. Giannis Supersonic should be out.
We talked about this. We agreed that they were in contention.
No, I'm going to let it ride. But my personal belief, because we root for a team that changed locations as well, I disregard the Vancouver Grizzlies. They're not us. I will not accept them as a Grizzly.
No.
Unless you played in Memphis, you do not count to me.
That's such short-sighted, but from a short man, it's not surprising.
It's not. I wouldn't root for the Grizzlies if they were in Vancouver. So why do I care about Bryant Reeves?
I did.
But you're an idiot. This is well known.
No, I'm an OG. I am a well-established fan from the 1990s. So come on, who's your third player?
My third pick, and again, I was thinking, and the history of the Pacers is much more difficult, but I'm going to take one of the OG brawlers here, partially responsible for the Malice of the Palace, almost ended a fan's life.
Yeah,
I will take
Ron Artest, Meta World Peace.
No.
Oh,
Jermaine O'Neal. I will take Jermaine O'Neal. You know, one of the most fortunate things in NBA history is that when he went to go swing on that fan on the sidelines, his back foot slipped and he missed.
Oh, man.
Because he would have killed that man.
Dead.
No.
If we're talking bar fight, I think your team might win. But if we're talking basketball, I have the easiest pick for my last pick in the history of picks. And that's Kevin Durant. I mean, third all-time in Thunder points. No. 9 seasons for the Thunder, 3 50-point games, 4-time scoring champs, leads franchise in 3 points attempted, 3 points made, MVP where he averaged 32 points per game. I mean, come on, bro. His win shares above replacement per 48 minutes is one of the highest in league history. Give me KD. And Russ, Gary Payton, and KD in their prime is beating your team to sleep. Like 21-0 every time.
No, because Jermaine O'Neal will actually beat your team to sleep.
Okay? We ain't talking bar fights.
This is pavement basketball here. This is concrete basketball. They're not playing in the Paycom Arena or this is concrete basketball. And Jermaine O'Neal, Kevin Durant's knees will be gone.
No,
as well as his
jaw. If we're talking bar fights, maybe, but we're going to put this up on our socials. You see it here at the number 2bucks_BCM. I'm going to put it on Instagram and Twitter after the show. Let us know who has the better list, who wins in a 3-on-3, and we're going to do this every Friday.
Well,
may not
let's
always
do
be
honorable
basketball, but
mentions.
you got honorable mentions? I got honorable mentions.
Yeah, I almost went with a Parks and Rec exclusive with Detlef Shrimp and Roy Hibbert.
Roy Hibbert. So, I mean, again, the 3-on-3 they would help for the sheer size. Roy Hibbert's. I was listening to the Ringer, the mismatch earlier in the week, and they were talking about how Roy Hibbert's was like he was like the most valuable player in the NBA for like 7 games about 10, 12 years ago, and then he didn't matter anymore after that.
Yeah. I did. I think about those. I can't believe if you wanted to go Seattle Supersonics, you missed the best one, and that's Ray Allen.
So don't take away my honorable mention because I've got Ray Allen, I've got Sean Kemp, and if we want to go way back, the only time the Supersonics ever won a title was 1979, and Jack Sikma was their best player, if you want to go that far back. But my honorable mentions were Sean Kemp and Ray
Allen. And we both could have went with Paul George, and we chose not to.
Yeah, these are the Paul George teams. That tells you everything you need to know about Paul George. Well, thanks for hanging with us for our new segment. Before we get diving in too much deeper, I do want to talk about Ounce of Hope. Ounce of Hope is our partner here at Bluff City Media. They're a local Memphis dispensary who specializes in mushroom vitalities, THC seltzers, CBD treatments for your dogs and for humans. As I sit here, I've got my CBD soft gels, my recovery blend here. It helps with mental fog. I'm a little bit allergy-y today after mowing the yard yesterday here in Memphis. If you know, you know. And so they're going to help me recover, help me bounce back. In the commercial you're about to see, we talk about the Peach Buzz being their best flavor of seltzer. Kenny and I have talked a couple times since then. We might have to update the commercial as the Cherry Jane. It's a black cherry THC seltzer. Might have taken the cake for me. It's phenomenal. It's a great black cherry flavor. It's a great way to relax after a long work day or on a Friday night with only 37 calories. You can't beat it for an alcohol replacement. You don't feel bad the next day. I sleep like a baby after I have one. Cannot speak as highly about these guys or speak highly enough about Ounce of Hope. One of the other things you need to consider is agro-tourism. I know it's not a word that nobody's familiar with, but agro-tourism is huge. If you go get to tour these fruit farms and different things, orchards around the area, don't miss Ounce of Hope. They've got a great setup in South Memphis with their fish ponds where they're using fish poop to fertilize their cannabis plants. Reach out to Ounce of Hope today to set up your tour at the farm or visit one of their stores here in Memphis. And if you're out of town, Wayno, I'm looking at you. OunceofHope.com. The code Bluff City gets you 15% off your first order. Super easy to use, super easy to figure out how to get the product shipped right to your front door.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code Bluff City for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer.
I added Drew back to the stage. He still wasn't there. Welcome back, as we're going to talk about now the NBA Finals. We had game 1 last night of what everybody thought was going to be a walk-away win for the Thunder, including all of us, for the first 58 minutes and 58 seconds.
58 minutes.
47 minutes and 58 seconds. Math is hard. 47 minutes, 58 seconds. It was the Thunder victory. And then in the final moments, Tyrese Halliburton does Tyrese Halliburton things, and the Pacers pull out game 1. Uncle Buck, I mean, first thoughts on the Thunder loss last night on their home court.
I mean, it's impossible to say that you're stunned, but for most of that game, I was like, this is boring. I had a hard time keeping up, Yeah. Halliburton was doing not Halliburton. SGA was doing his thing, but he was having a very very non-efficient game, although he took lots of shots and scored a lot of points. It was very inefficient. And it just kind of seemed to leave the door open. And so then, when you leave the door open for Halliburton, weird things happen.
Yeah. I mean, he's the most clutch player in these playoffs. He is currently he went from third all time in clutch win percentage from 1.78 to 2.68, like literally almost doubled it, and surpassed LeBron James, one of the most clutch players in NBA history, with just one shot last night. And Drew, here amongst friends with you and everybody in the comments. Art, thanks for joining us, man. Wayno, Kenny, thank y'all for being here. I need to admit that I was wrong. I said on our Wednesday Daily Grind show, when we were previewing the game, I said that the Pacers play physically, but not Oklahoma City type physical. And last night, the Pacers made a lot of physical plays, finishing through contact from Caruso, Siakam getting a big rebound or a big putback late, Obi Toppin, after a miserable start, figured it out late, and they were able to keep up with the Thunder physically and just kept themselves in the game. They were able to kind of hang around and give them an opportunity to win the game late.
Yeah. Listen, I think you could go. Listen, this thing about the Indiana Pacers thing is you just can't kill them. And it's inspiring, honestly, because I couldn't have thought of a worse first half of basketball. They turned over the ball 18 times in the first half. And because they didn't drop their head, because that's what you see with the Grizzlies all year. It's what you see in virtually all teams in all sports, is you turn the ball over and you drop your head and you give up an easy basket on the other end. Of 18 or 19 first half turnovers that Indiana had and the Thunder forced, the Thunder scored 9 points on it. That's unheard of. And it allowed that margin to be only 11 at the half. And when the margin's only 11, if you're an Indiana Pacers player, fan, coach, you're in it. You're in it. And I think the frustrating part in watching the game is you kept on waiting like, okay, they got it down to 9, and then Dort would hit a 3 to take it back to 12, and then they'd get it to 11, and then they'd make a couple shots, get it to 15. It was just never lower than 8 for like the whole game until it wasn't. And then Andrew Nembhard went nuclear and closed the gap to a 1-basket game. And your MVP, your scoring leader, the new quote unquote face of the NBA, the mid-range king, had his shot that he makes 99 times out of 100 at the nail.
It was a 10-footer. 10-footer.
And he missed it. And I was like, and I think that was the first time I was like, he's going to do it. I could have turned my TV off. I knew what was going to happen because you left the door open with a shot that you make 99 times out of 100. And props to Rick Carlisle. I think this was like an absolute clinic for him because he didn't call the timeout. He didn't let them adjust. And even then, Halliburton didn't quite know what he was going to do on that end of the court, but he just made his move and got enough space to make the 3. And
we can't talk about it was a 21-foot 2. Like, you can't talk enough about the shot because he's literally on the other end. He gets turned around. He looks at the other end of the court at the shot clock. Hits a turnaround 21-footer to win the game. Like you said, big props to Carlisle for not calling a timeout that could have given the Oklahoma City an opportunity to get their defense set. But instead, in the chaos, Hallie takes this super inefficient shot and wins the game. Like you said, Maggie and I had a date night last night. We were kind of hanging out, watching the game, kind of talking, but it was boring. I came on home, was getting ready for bed, and I looked down, and it was a 6-point game, and I was like, all right, this is the moment. I pulled it up on my phone and I watched the end of it on my phone because if it's within single digits late, you might as well go ahead and give the Pacers a win, like you said earlier. I got another stat I want to throw at you really quick. Last night, or in the playoffs so far, over 20% of the Thunder's points have come off of turnovers. Over 20%.
That's the whole season.
Last night, it was less than 10%. The Pacers were able to mitigate their turnovers. They turned the ball over 24 times and the Thunder only 11 points on those turnovers.
That is high character basketball. That is high effort basketball. And we said it in the regular season. We talked about it going into the Grizzlies series with the Thunder in the first round. And I know we talked about it going into game 3. What can the Grizzlies make to salvage a win here in this series down 0-2. But all year long, the Thunder have caused turnovers and scored points off turnovers, and that's where a lion's share of their offense comes from. And for them to still turn the ball over and not give up the points on turnover, that is high character basketball. And everybody, we'll talk about players in a minute. I just want to circle back to it. Rick Carlisle was absolutely astounding last night, and because that's a coach thing and that's a culture thing. It's a buy-in thing that comes from up top because Rick Carlisle's team's always been tough. They've never been phased. And last night, Dagnall got cute, and Rick Carlisle told his team, just keep the faith, keep pressing. We will do this. And because they've done it so many times, they believed they weren't out, and they just cleaned up the ball, cleaned up the offensive side of the ball in the second half, and allowed themselves to keep taking bites into this deficit by not turning the ball over.
Let's start there with the coaching mismatch. Last night, Carlisle had an absolute clinic. Like you said, Dagnall, he got cute. He tried to go small from the beginning. Hartenstein didn't even start. They went small ball from the beginning, and then they went small ball for the final 3 minutes of the game, and they got out rebounded 56-39, just dominated on the glass. And that goes a long way in this game because the Thunder shot the ball 16 more times and lost while losing the rebound battle. Tells me the Pacers have a real shot. And a lot of that was Carlisle sticking with his guys, trusting the process, coaching them up, and the team believing in the game plan and believing in what they can do. I told you on Wednesday, Siakam was going to have a big game. He had a double-double as the Pacers' leading scorer, but it started with going small early. The Pacers are a big athletic team, and going small early hurt Oklahoma City in the long run.
Yeah, it did because I put up so much of an onus on the guard play and the defense on the guard play. They did a good job on Halliburton all game long until they didn't. But I mean, Halliburton ended with 14 and 10. You know, he got his assist, but you let guys like Nembhard and Nesmith and Siakam beat you. And if you're the Thunder coach, that's the recipe for success. Looking forward, you put this game in the rear view now, or you're studying this game looking towards the next game.
Right.
If you're the Thunder, you're thinking you're probably still pretty confident. You know, you had a 9-point lead. You got away from what you did well, but that could be fixed. You know, I think I wouldn't surprise me at all to see Hartenstein back in the starting lineup, and you got another game at home. And honestly, I think the Thunder probably beat them by 50 in the next game.
But all they got to do is split. So let's go back before we move on off that final shot. I got one more thing. Caitlin Cooper, she was on the Zach Lowe podcast this past week. She's one of the most brilliant basketball minds that covers the Pacers in depth. Check her out, C2_Cooper on Twitter. She tweeted this morning about that Hallie shot. Tyrese Halliburton prefers pull up going to his right, even though he's right-handed. So typically if you're going left, that gives you more of an opportunity to get your right-hand shot up. Well, last night on that final play, they allowed him to go right, where on the season in these clutch situations, he's 5 of 7 going to his left hand, but he's 22 of 44. So he's shooting 50% on game-winning shots when he's allowed to go to his right hand. And that's what he did last night to win the game in that final clutch. They didn't force him away from that dominant hand, and they paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's coaching. You know, that's 100%. Situational coaching. And that's the reason why Carlisle should be credited for not calling a timeout, because that's something that's discussed in crunch time. A lot of the times, although it seems to be more frequent lately, you know, it worked for the Grizzlies, not taking timeouts and just letting Ja cook. You know, but a lot of coaches will take a timeout there, advance the ball into the front court, and run a sideline out of bounds play for the last shot. But
Taylor Jenkins did it when Desmond Bane hit that 3, and then we lost the game because we weren't able to get the shot.
Right, exactly. And well, in that situation, we were up 3, and it just allowed Houston to foul. That was the penalty that you paid for making the timeout. But in this case, being up 1, Oklahoma City could have subbed in the defensive line if they want. They straighten out. You know, what are you doing if Halliburton or when Halliburton ISOs with the ball? You're going to stay on the right side of him, make him take that shot, stepping back to the left. But Carlisle did not allow them to do that, which was genius. And I love it. I love to see coaches, because he in the first half, he was positive. They even showed him in the huddle. It's like, quit driving into traffic. Don't dribble inside the 3-point line. Like, this is where you cause chaos. He got on them, but then let them breathe. And when it came down to it, he didn't he didn't white knuckle this game from the sidelines. He let Halliburton be Halliburton because Halliburton's done it over and over and over again.
I mean, that's it. As W. Youngman says here, thanks for being here in the comments, man. Siakam has been the best player on the Pacers outside of a couple of games, but Hallie is absolutely the closer. Drew, a couple stats for you here. In NBA history, over 70% of the teams that win game one go on to win the series. And the Pacers have now not lost back-to-back games in over 3 months. So if that trend continues, they have a stark advantage here. If you go every other with the Thunder, you win in 7.
Yeah, that's true. The Thunder are by far the best team they've played so far.
By far.
You look at the history, even in this playoffs, I talked about it on Wednesday. I think the Pacers have not lost a game 1 or game 2 all playoff long, and they have not won a game 3 at home.
Game 3.
So you look at that and how that works out with the Thunder. If you're not going to win game 3 again, if you're going to go 0-4 in game 3, you have to win game 2. Because I don't think, once you get this 2-2, the 4 games, the 2 away, 2 at home, if you're even there, I don't like your odds. I don't think you need to be 2-2 if you're the Pacers playing a best of 3 series with 2 of them being in Oklahoma City.
Tough.
So I do think you either have to win game 2 or sweep 3 and 4 that home back to back. And so one of the two's got to happen if Indiana's going to win this.
So they play again Sunday night before we talk again on Monday. I'm like you. I feel like the Thunder take game 2 in a very convincing way because they can put on an offensive onslaught that buries you in a heartbeat that even Hallie can't bring you back from. But at the same time, this Pacers team is freaking pesky. And Drew, if this game is within 15 points late, like hold on to your butts, as Samuel Jackson said in Jurassic Park, because it's going to be electric finish. And like if this is a sign of things to come, yes, the Thunder are a much better team, but if the Pacers are going to play like this and believe in themselves, we're in for a whale of an NBA Finals.
Oh, there's no doubt about that at all. I just there's no scenario unless it's 30 in the fourth quarter where I'm counting out the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
I still believe that Oklahoma City is going to win this series. I will change my tune drastically if somehow Indiana is able to go up 2-1. But if they split in Oklahoma City, I will not think Indiana has a chance to win the whole series unless they win both in Indiana. And they're up. Let's see, that'd be 3-1.
I just don't know that this Pacers team is going to lose 4 in a row. I just don't think so. I think this series is going to go at least 6. I think that this could very likely go 7. Now, yesterday I was saying Thunder in 5, but watching that resiliency in a hostile environment, because Paycom Marino was electric last night. It was super loud. They were getting after it. And they still, like, the quietest it was when Hallie hit that shot. Like, it was electric all night. And then you've heard of a crowd pop. That was the loudest crowd deflate I've ever heard. Yeah,
a crowd flop. Yeah. There, you could not. I would pay any amount of money to be a road fan in Oklahoma. If I was a diehard Pacers fan, to be in that game in Oklahoma City with everybody wearing their stupid matching shirts, just walking out in unison, sad. And then me in my Halliburton yellow. That's what I'd be wearing because I want to stick out as much as possible. All you people, there's 15, 20,000 people wearing the same dang white shirt that is just mopping up the floor with their tears. I want to be in my yellow, just losing my mind.
Yeah. I mean, Hallie, as Bueno says here, he's gone from overrated to maybe underrated. I don't know if he's a household name, but my God, man, he's been the best player in these playoffs so far. Just from a clutch standpoint, never count him out. He had that one perfect game, but other people have better stats. But there is nobody else that I want with the ball under 5 seconds to go with a chance to win. Nobody.
I mean, if you think league wide now, I mean, if you're just taking, gun to your head, somebody's got to make a contested shot to win the game at the buzzer. Who are you taking over him? Steph.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
No. Maybe KD.
Yeah, just because I know KD can make any shot uncontested.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
absolutely.
But I mean, that may be it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I got nothing. I got
Chat,
nothing.
you
Man.
got anybody I'm missing?
Yeah,
With the
'cause-
game, gun to your head, game on the line. Somebody's got to make a shot. Who's it
Yeah.
going to be? Who am I missing other than KD and Steph?
like prime Dame maybe, but other than that, like right now, nobody.
But I'm not talking prime. I'm talking
yeah,
right now.
right now, nobody.
Okay, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Larry
I would,
Bird.
like,
No, we're talking
not,
right
not
now.
even SGA, not even SGA. Like because he missed that
No,
10-footer.
SGA
in clutch
missed it
minutes. That's what
last
I'm saying.
night.
Not even SGA. Man. But
yeah,
we have got a
fun.
series on our hands. It's not a series until the road team wins one, and they got game 1 last night. Game 3 is on Sunday night. We don't get another one until Wednesday. That's the one thing about the finals. They spread them out forever. And it's been dud coverage anyway. Last night's like the whole thing was just kind of meh outside of the game. I know.
I hate that ESPN has the game because I love nothing more than passing it over to Chuck and Shaq, who's courtside. Because if they're lax in their home studio in Atlanta, them on the road is just who knows.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. But Drew, we have other things going on before the game on Sunday, and so we got to talk about what's going to happen before we talk again.
That's right, Buckets. Our last segment on Fridays is always just previewing the weekend, I guess, but looking forward to what we've got going on before our first segment on Monday, which is, well, how'd it go? And our Bucks best and beef of the week. So, so I'll start. As I've said on this show before, my wife is out of town on a girls' beach trip. And so I have 4 kids solo parenting this weekend. And it's already been an adventure because I went to go pick up the kids from daycare yesterday. And my wife took the keys to the van with her to the beach. And so we're spending the whole weekend in the O2 F-150 and pray Jesus take the wheel. So
everybody hang on to your neighbor.
Couple that with the fact that we've got travel ball state tournament in Tupelo this weekend. So as soon as I end recording here, I'm taking my boy to Tupelo, which is about an hour drive, to play a 2:00 state tournament baseball game, which is just weird. Try to thread the needle and get back to daycare before 5 to pick up my kids. And then we're going to do it again Saturday. Got 2 games tomorrow and at least 1 game on Sunday. So, I think this says it best.
Oh, I put it. Yeah. Shout out Cousin Kirk.
I think this says it best. And he's not family. I don't even know Kirk. Kirk is a total stranger. And so I can only believe that he says the truth.
Yeah, that's it.
Unbiased. He is not my cousin. He is totally unbiased. And she doesn't deserve me.
Real quick breaking news before we head out of here. Parker Fleming, Paka Flocka on Twitter just said, per the Stein line, that the Grizzlies have interviewed Mavericks assistant coach, 14-year NBA vet, Jared Dudley, for a role on Tomas Islo's coaching staff. I'm going to give that 2 great big old thumbs up. As a guy who has playing experience, coaching experience, and can get players' ears, I really like that as an opportunity to be an assistant coach for the Grizz.
I do too. I like former players. I don't know what Dudley's coaching chops are, but I know he's been on the bench for a long time now since he got out of the NBA. So yeah, I like Jared Dudley. Bring him to Memphis. I don't think that interview gets out unless it's like legit. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Who leaks it? Who leaks it?
Like the Stein line, which is
not Dallas.
Mark Stein is a credible NBA reporter, and then you got Parker Fleming, who is for the Grizzlies as well. That feels like real news. And what have we been asking for Tomas' staff, right? He's inexperienced. Give us a former player with experience, and that's what Jared Dudley is. First gut reaction live here on there. It broke 5 minutes ago. Huge.
I like it.
Love that.
I like it.
I like that.
Now go get
this weekend. Yeah. Me this weekend, Clark is coaching in an all-star game tomorrow. And so at Northeast in Boonville, it's at 3 p.m. So we're going to go over there. Yeah. Show up with it.
Fresh off of their Tallahassee regional loss to Mississippi State.
That's right. But we're gonna go. So I'm gonna go Clark coach tomorrow at 3:00 at Northeast. I'm gonna go watch him coach. And then other than that, Drew, I'm not doing anything this weekend. It's been a hectic couple of weeks for Maggie with her work. It's been a hectic couple of weeks for me and mine. I've got a lot of travel coming up, including a great weekend away. The two of us in a couple of weeks are going for a long weekend in Nashville. So outside of tomorrow, like Sunday, I don't want to go to the grocery store. And then I just want to be in my comfies all day. I got no plans between now and Monday. Probably going to watch some college baseball and do little of nothing else.
I'm not going to watch any college baseball.
Drew is out on college baseball.
I may watch. I may watch Arkansas and Tennessee. I'll walk that back a little bit. So
there you go. Well, that's going to do it for your Friday edition of the 2 Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, as always, Rusty Buckets, with my guy Drew Gann here at 11 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. For now. ... But thanks for tuning in with us.
You guys.
Yeah, we're just going to keep teasing you with stuff. That's it. But thanks for tuning in. Go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, there are no refunds for what you heard today on the 2 Buck Sports Show.
That's right. Because with the 2 Buck Sports Show, you always get what you pay for. And that's 37 minutes of pure bliss to enter into your weekend.
See you Monday.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the 2 Buck Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page, like this video, and leave a comment. We will see you back here in a few days.